Samuel Leroy Jackson, a name synonymous with unparalleled talent, captivating charisma, and fearless advocacy. Known for his iconic roles in films like Pulp Fiction, The Avengers, and Django Unchained, Samuel has carved out a legacy that transcends cinema. Beyond the movie sets, premieres, and award ceremonies, he remains a cultural icon whose influence reaches far beyond Hollywood. But even a man of his stature has not been exempted from the harsh realities of systemic racism. Imagine a global superstar, recognized across continents, who is still subjected to the suspicion, judgment, and prejudice that countless black individuals endure every day. Despite his fame and fortune, Samuel Leroy Jackson has faced the humiliation and frustration of racial profiling in airports, retail stores, and public spaces. Today, we delve into the incidents that shaped his perspective, the random searches at airports, the surveillance in department stores, and the assumptions made in everyday situations. How did he respond? How has he used these moments to advocate for change? And what lessons can we take from his resilience and determination? Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay updated on more powerful stories of resilience and activism. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters in this conversation. It was a busy afternoon at Los Angeles International Airport, one of the busiest travel hubs in the world. Samuel Leroy Jackson, dressed in casual attire, a black hoodie, dark jeans, and his signature round glasses, was heading to his gate for a flight to New York. He had an important press tour scheduled to promote his latest film, and the day had already been a whirlwind of preparation and interviews. As Samuel approached the TSA security checkpoint, he couldn't help but notice the scrutinizing glances of the agents. The line was moving relatively quickly for others. Families with children, business people in suits, and vacationers with brightly colored luggage were all passing through without much delay. But as Samuel stepped forward, he was signaled to the side. "Excuse me, sir, please step over here for additional screening," the TSA agent said, motioning to a separate line. Samuel sighed inwardly, but complied without hesitation. It wasn't the first time he'd been singled out like this, and he knew it wouldn't be the last. The agent began a detailed pat-down, meticulously checking his arms, torso, and legs. "Can you remove your shoes and belt?" the agent asked, even though Samuel had already passed through the scanner without any alarms. As his carry-on bag was placed on a separate table, another agent began pulling out his belongings, a script he'd been working on, a pair of sunglasses, and his headphones. Each item was inspected with unnecessary care. "What's all this about?" Samuel asked, his tone calm but tinged with irritation. "It's just a random check," the agent replied, avoiding eye contact. Samuel raised an eyebrow. "Random? Huh. Funny how often random seems to mean me." Passengers in the nearby line watched the scene unfold. Some whispered among themselves, recognizing the famous actor, but unsure of how to react. Others pretended not to notice. After what felt like an eternity, the agents finally returned his belongings. "You're good to go," one of them said curtly. As Samuel walked away, he couldn't shake the feeling of humiliation. It wasn't just about the inconvenience, it was about the message these encounters sent. No matter his accomplishments, he was still treated as a suspect. Later, Samuel took to social media to share his experience. "Another day, another random search. They must really think I'm smuggling something in my scripts. #flying while black. The post quickly went viral, sparking outrage and discussions about the racial disparities in airport security practices. Thousands of fans and activists shared their own stories, and hashtags like #flying while black began trending. On a crisp autumn afternoon in New York City, Samuel decided to indulge in a bit of shopping. He stepped into an upscale department store, hoping to find a gift for his wife. The store was bustling with activity, customers browsing, sales associates assisting, and the faint sound of holiday music playing in the background. Samuel moved from aisle to aisle, examining watches, scarves, and perfumes. Despite the crowd, he couldn't ignore the feeling of being watched. Out of the corner of his eye, he noticed a sales associate lingering nearby, pretending to adjust items on the shelves. At first, Samuel brushed it off, attributing it to coincidence. But as he moved to another section of the store, the associate followed. "Can I help you with something?" the associate finally asked. "No, I'm good," Samuel replied politely but firmly. He continued browsing, but the associate didn't leave. Instead, they stood a few feet away, their eyes fixed on him. It wasn't long before Samuel's patience wore thin. Turning to face the associate, he said, "Actually, you can help me. You can stop following me around like I'm about to steal something." The associate stammered, clearly caught off guard. "I'm just here to assist," they said weakly. "Funny, I don't see you assisting anyone else," Samuel replied, his voice calm but authoritative. The tension in the air was palpable. Other shoppers began to notice the exchange, some pausing to watch. The manager eventually came over, apologizing profusely and assuring Samuel that he was welcome in the store. Samuel left without making a purchase. Later, he recounted the incident in an interview. "It's frustrating," he said. "You'd think that by now, people would know better. But it's a reminder that no matter how much you achieve, you're still seen through a certain lens." One evening, while waiting for a friend outside a coffee shop in Los Angeles, Samuel found himself the subject of unnecessary scrutiny. He leaned casually against the wall, checking his phone, when a police car pulled up. An officer stepped out and approached him. "Everything okay here?" the officer asked, his tone suggesting more than mere curiosity. Samuel looked up, his expression neutral. "Yeah, I'm just waiting for someone. Is there a problem?" The officer hesitated, then said, "No problem, just making sure." Samuel raised an eyebrow but decided not to escalate the situation. As the officer walked away, he shook his head and muttered, "Making sure of what?" Later, Samuel reflected on the incident. "It's not about what you're doing, it's about who they think you are," he said. "You don't have to be doing anything wrong to be seen as a threat." Samuel Leroy Jackson has long been an outspoken advocate for social justice. Whether in interviews, on talk shows, or through his social media, he has used his platform to shine a light on the realities of racial profiling. "These experiences aren't just about me," he said in one interview. "They're about the millions of people who deal with this every day, but don't have the voice or the platform to speak out." He has partnered with organizations like the Equal Justice Initiative and the NAACP, lending his star power to campaigns aimed at ending racial profiling. His involvement extends beyond advocacy. He has also funded scholarships and programs designed to address systemic racism. Samuel's decision to speak out has inspired countless individuals. Fans, celebrities, and activists have rallied around him, sharing their own stories and amplifying his message. When someone as iconic as Samuel Leroy Jackson speaks out, it forces people to pay attention, one activist said. Despite the challenges, Samuel remains committed to creating change. His initiative, Profiles in Justice, has become a beacon for those seeking to address racial profiling and implicit bias. Through workshops, documentaries, and public service campaigns, he continues to push for a more equitable society. Samuel Leroy Jackson's journey is a testament to the power of resilience and advocacy. His experiences serve as a reminder that even the most accomplished individuals are not immune to prejudice, but they can use their voices to demand change. What do you think of Samuel Leroy Jackson's courage to share his story and fight for justice? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories that challenge the status quo and inspire change. Together, we can build a future where equality is more than a dream, it's a reality.